श्री श्री गौरनिताई की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome back to the session on the Bhakta class seminar. So today we will discuss about some of the aspects of cleanliness. Very much required, and it's very important aspect in any part of life. And what to speak of spiritual culture and spiritual life, how much more important when we are engaged in the service of the Lord and when we want to come close to the Lord. It's quite important that we should be very clean so that we can render service to the Lord in a pure way. So we will discuss about many practical things today, apart from understanding the importance of being in Sattva Guna and the importance of cleanliness. We'll discuss about there may be many basic things you may think which was a normal thing in the previous times. Previous times means some, I would say 20 years, 25 years back. These are all normal culture which was very much prominent in India. And now because of the influence of the Western culture and the Western ideas, so we have lost track of our traditional Vedic culture. And as a result, we need to get trained on many basic things. Our father or our grandfather would have been very easily following all these things, but we being influenced by the modern life, we do not know many basic things. So we will be discussing many basic things like proper way of brushing the teeth, bodily odor, taking bath, how to use the oil, keeping our nails clean, many basic things. Apart from that, keeping our belongings clean, keeping the sacred items in Krishna's service, it could be bead bag, books, other paraphernalias, left hand, right hand, proper usage of it. Then what else? Yeah, then handling the books. Yeah, how improper way of using the legs. Many things. We will discuss some practical things as well, and then we will see how it goes. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So the external cleanliness, we discussed about the Shravanam and Kirtanam in the first two sessions. So how to now to make other practical things, today we will discuss about this cleanliness. So external cleanliness is quite important. If we cannot keep our body, our surroundings clean, then Um, how is that we can cleanse our heart, which is accumulated since time immemorial? So many dust is accumulated. So there are some basics we need to know. So Srila Prabhupada says, cleanliness is next to godliness. So this another quote that we discussed the other day. Prabhupada says, if you are not clean, Krishna will remain 1,000 miles away. So Srila Prabhupada, he wanted revolutionary cleanliness. So you can see many of the devotees and many newcomers, they have experience when they come to ISKCON, they see everything is spotlessly clean. Because Srila Prabhupada had set such a standard. So everything, he wanted everything to be very clean, proper, really in Sattva Guna, because Krishna is present, his temple, his paraphernalias, everything should be kept very clean. And also, as practicing devotees, we need to be clean as well. So specifically brahmacharis, they have to be very clean. You know, in the Bhagavatam, there is a statement in Kali Yuga, brahmacharis will be unclean. So Srila Prabhupada said, we don't want to be such kind of brahmacharis. It's not only for brahmacharis, for everyone, for all the practicing devotees. So in the in one of the lectures Srila Prabhupada gave in Los Angeles, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 30, Srila Prabhupada speaks about the cleanliness. He says, in so many places Srila Prabhupada spoke, I'm just quoting few relevant points here. Cleanliness is essential for making advancement in spiritual life. There are two kinds of cleanliness, external and internal. External cleanliness means taking a bath, but for internal cleanliness, one has to think of Krishna always and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This process cleanses the accumulated dust of past karma from the mind. So this Rajo Tamo Bhava is prominent. There is no Sattva Guna, goodness. It is very rare. The symptom of goodness is that he can see everything right. That is goodness. Prakasha. Just like in sunshine, you can see everything clearly. Similarly, one who sees clearly things as they are in the goodness, mode of goodness. There are three modes of the material nature. Before we continue, just we can see many times advanced devotees, those who are very steady in Krishna consciousness, they have been practicing Krishna consciousness for years, very steadily preaching, following all the principles of sadhana. When they come, they could see so many things. They could see something, the door is dirty, they could see the cobwebs, they can see the floor is dirty, they can see when things are not kept in proper place. They can immediately look into that. And you know, sometimes they may show also, we may not be able to see. What Prabhu, where Prabhu, we will be looking. So the point here Srila Prabhupada is making is that when someone is fixed in Sattva Guna, he can see things clearly. And he can see when some things are not in proper perspective, immediately he can't tolerate the ignorance. Immediately he wants to bring it to the right standard. So Srila Prabhupada continues, there are three modes of the material nature. One who is acting foolishly, he is in Rajoguna. And who does not know what is the meaning of life, simply laziness and darkness, that is Tamoguna. So those who are in Tamoguna, Jaganya Guna Vrityasta, Ado Gachanti Tamasaha. So they will go again to the animal kingdom. They will go again to animal kingdom. Rajoguna may have their human birth again, but that is also very difficult. But if you stay in the Sattva Guna, then your life is successful. Even if you do not get Krishna in this life, you will get next life if you keep yourself in Sattva Guna. Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvasta. They will gradually be promoted to the higher planetary system or in the spiritual world. Therefore, we are trying to keep ourselves, our students, always in the Sattva Guna. Cleanliness, Sattva, to remain a Brahmana. If you remain a Brahmana, then you will not fall down. You will not fall down. Otherwise, if you remain in Tamoguna, then you are going to be next animal. This is the process of nature. So we can see the importance of trying to remain clean. So somebody may question, how does it matter, Prabhu? Love of God is beyond all these things. No, the first is this external cleanliness is very much required, because from that we come to the platform of Sattva, and from sattva we raise ourselves to Shuddha Sattva. So that's the whole point. That's why Srila Prabhupada is saying that if we remain in Rajoguna and Tamoguna, then our chances of elevation is very less. We may go down. So that's why in the path of Krishna consciousness, we need to follow these rules and regulations which help us, which protect us from gliding down to the lower modes and our consciousness very much being influenced by that. So now, yeah, there could be so many quotes that we could read, but just to continue with our session, we will see several aspects of cleanliness today. So we could begin with specifically with personal cleanliness, and when we speak of personal cleanliness, so many things are there. It begins from cleansing the teeth, keeping our body clean, not to have bad odor, bad breath, and then how to bathe, and so many things like that we will discuss. Now, one interesting aspect in the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the purports, it is mentioned. Indeed, even such ordinary bodily activities as brushing the teeth and taking bath are pleasing to Krishna when performed as part of his devotional service. What is the point? Although it is not direct anga of bhakti, but the point is that when we perform this act, thinking that I have to keep myself clean, I have to wear neat dress so that I can engage in the service of Krishna very nicely, then that is pleasing to Krishna. Because when we want to present ourselves in front of Krishna, we want to be very clean and neat. So the Lord is pleased by that. Oh, we'll discuss about keeping the teeth clean. So Srila Prabhupada many times used to inquire from the devotees. So he used to ask the devotees, are they cleaning the teeth properly? So we can't just ignore this, and also it's very unhygienic if you don't keep our teeth properly. You get so many different kinds of diseases, and it also creates bad odor. For those who have seen some of the Prabhupada's memories, you could hear the memory of Srila Prabhupada's disciple Atma Tattva Prabhu. When he wanted to get initiation, Srila Prabhupada was chastising him. There was bad odor from his mouth, and Prabhupada wanted him to keep his teeth clean. So Srila Prabhupada instructed him to go back and keep his teeth clean. So generally, we can see for practical purposes that yes, we brush our teeth in the morning, and then gargle or wash our mouth after every time we honor prasadam, and in that way there will be no bacteria that will stay in the mouth and will keep clean. If you don't do that, we can many times see there is bad odor. And specifically pujaris, we can see sometimes they even brush the teeth after every meal or before they go to do puja. If required, they do that. And also it depends on some of the individuals' bodily condition. Some people after taking rest, they sometimes saliva comes out. Sometimes there is a lot of bad odor. So it's okay to at least mildly brush the teeth. But generally, once if you do properly and then maintain it by gargling nicely, that's enough. And some practical aspects that one interesting thing I just saw. It is also mentioned that sometimes it's mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that if someone washes the mouth 16 times, that means you gargle 16 times, it's as good as cleaning. Now after a meal or something, if you nicely gargle, so that is also considered as good as brushing the teeth, it is mentioned. So there is one practical thing that sometimes we see in the modern days. These things usually there is never practiced previously. While bathing, some people brush the teeth, which is not proper, or some people brush the teeth while they are clearing their stomach, while they are in the toilet, which is very, very dirty actually. Already it's a contaminated place and you don't brush the teeth inside the toilet. And sometimes we see new bhaktas when they come, they all have so many habits and practices before. And sometimes we see suddenly some devotee coming out of the toilet with brushing the teeth. So, and after when we train them, they understand. So that should be avoided. That's not at all hygienic. And we can also, those who were in the village, they are all used to using the neem sticks. And they used to use that. And it's a common practice. They just go take a take it from the small branch from the tree and then they use it. And yeah, otherwise in these days we have the brush. So and also we use the brush and then we clean. And also when the brush becomes so bad, so our temple is very gracious. Our temple commander is merciful, so he will give us the new brush. So you can, there is no, don't think that there will be a lot of money loss for the temple. Please change the brush, and that will keep things in a better way. So we can change the brush and then use the brush so that the dirt will go away. So we can yeah, use like that. That will be good. And yeah, there are so many things, organic tooth powders, toothpaste. And so better to use the paste and like that. And we can clean using. And then also for practical purposes, we can also see in the tongue, there is so much of dirt that is accumulated. And we can use a tongue scraper to remove the dirt that is accumulated. We can remove it once a day at least, so that the accumulated things will come out, and then you can see yourself feeling much better. So if you just brush the teeth properly, then we can see that there will not be many bad odor or bad breath. Sometimes some people have difficulties because they have some difficulties with their they have some intestinal problems. There may be some bad odor, so they need some special attention to work out. And also another thing that we can see, sometimes the devotee themselves, they don't know that they have bad breath. So because of that, they may go and then talk to someone very close, or they may even go for preaching. People may not like to come near us. So if we find someone, so we have to explain to them, tell them that there is a difficulty like this, and there is nothing wrong. We should not think that how can I tell him. Yeah, sometimes it can also happen. You may in a polite way try to express, and then they may get upset. But actually it's a what do you say? It's a benefit for them. It's better to keep oneself clean, other than because the whole idea of our entire movement is preaching movement. So first of all, we have to be healthy. Second thing, and when we try to go and then meet someone while distributing books, or when people are coming, there should not be any bad breath. So that's very much. So sometimes we can see after food, people sometimes take cardamom or they take cloves, and like that, to tries to keep oneself away from bad breath. So one has to be practical. And also many times there is we can see children and also those who are not trained properly. They never wash their mouth. So many things get stuck to the teeth, and then after some time it causes a bad breath. So it's better to purify the mouth after every meal. And another important thing, specifically with bodily odor, every one of us have different bodily odor. We sweat when we do some heavy work, and when it is summer, other times immediately there is sweat. So we need to be aware of that, and then we need to wash our armpits. We should keep ourselves clean like that. Wash our face, wash our armpits, so that, and then there is a sweat, we should change. We may be wearing some kurta, or we may be wearing some chadar. We should not be lazy. We should immediately rinse it, wash it, and then change if you're going to go for another service and like that. Or even if you're going to go and take part in some program, it's better to keep ourselves clean. And this body odor really makes things horrible. And then when there is heavy kirtan or something is going on, and then you, in a great ecstasy, you raise your hands and everybody run away. And practically we have experience. I remember once in Bangalore, I was with some devotees. We did the whole day. There was some festival for some preaching program. We were engaged in service, and then we wanted to bring in so many youth, many people, new people for the program. Whole day, so much service we did, and then after that, we were coming for the arati. We were coming for the kirtan, and this devotee who was with me was so much sweating. The dress was dirty, everything. And then I very humbly requested him, Prabhuji, please, it's good to take a quick shower, or and then change your dress. That's it. After that, for 1 week he disappeared. He was very upset. He said that oh, what is this? I came to chant Krishna's name, and I was with devotees. Then after later, slowly we tried to explain and make him understand. So the thing is that it's first of all not hygienic for us, and another thing, who can stand next to us. So for practical purposes, better keep yourself clean. The bodily odor, we have to be practical. And also sometimes some devotees have too much of bad odor. So there is this alum. You can, for the armpits we can use it. Though it clears the bacteria, so it keeps ourselves clean. Apart from using soap and washing, So yeah, one thing, sometimes some devotees have this idea that I will not use soap or anything. Okay, that's, and then if you go and then bath, but if still somebody has bad odor, better use soap in sensitive areas so that specifically certain parts of the body, there's a lot of germs that is being generated. So better to use soap and then keep ourselves clean. Otherwise, we end up with so many kinds of skin diseases. It might be anything. It could be any Ayurvedic stuff or whatever, that you use something so that you can keep yourself clean. That's the whole point, rather than just leaving it like that. So that's very important. And yeah, sometimes some devotees start using perfumes because they give a reason that probably it's too much of bad odor. But you need to be balanced. If you just start now, it's an opportunity. It could be too much of sense gratification as well. Buying Charlie scent, this and that scent. So you need to be use some deodorant and like that. Yeah, you have, yeah, sometimes someone can be practical, but in the ashram we generally stick to alam, and then you can keep yourself clean like that. So that's the whole idea, is that you have to, there should not be bad odor from the body. That it's our responsibility to see that we are clean. Now uh, now specifically to maintain cleanliness, nowadays, in India also this idea is coming up. Though they don't take bath, specifically in the West, Srila Prabhupada had to literally train people. People don't take bath daily. What to speak of daily? They sometimes take bath once in 3 days, 4 days. They use perfume. So there is some history how this perfume industry came in the France. They were not taking bath, and then after some time, they started using perfume, and then the whole concept of perfume came in. You can keep yourself with good odor with the perfume, but it's very unhygienic. And we can also see sometimes when you go in the bus, people come with heavy perfume, and then we can see that they don't take bath. They use the perfume as a replacement. But in the Vedic culture, cleanliness means you properly bathe. You bathe at least, we can see Prabhupada speaks many times, 3 times a day. That was the Vedic culture. 3 times a day they bathe, at least minimum 2 times a day, or bare minimum at least once. So this is how you keep yourself clean. Srila Prabhupada, he speaks about it. If we keep ourselves clean, pure, we will not be contaminated. According to Vedic civilization, one has to cleanse himself externally 3 times daily, once in the morning, again at noon, and again in the evening. Those who strictly follow the Brahminical rules and regulations follow this process. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So Prabhupada says, naturally a devotee takes a bath at least twice in a day and rises early in the morning for devotional service. Thus he is naturally clean both inwardly and outwardly. So outwardly by cleansing, by taking bath he is clean, and inwardly he is clean by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And so there is a, for practical purposes, there is, when we when we take bath, before Mangalarati, specifically for those devotees who are staying in the ashram, even others can practice. We can't spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes leisurely taking bath, singing all the songs, and then spending. It's something like for brahmachari, it's a crow bath. Crow bath means you just go in, after you do your morning clearing your stomach and doing all the other morning specific activities, then immediately you come and take bath. You can, as we said, in the armpit areas and other in the genital areas, you apply little soap, and then quickly you take shower. You cleanse yourself, and then you take bath under cold shower immediately, and you take shower, and then you cleanse yourself very quickly. Not that you spend a lot of time. So there is a time when you take bath again before the lunch or before the noon. At the time you do more cleaning, you do all the other activities at the time. So because we don't spend a lot of time before Mangalarati. So this is something we need to know. And also we don't use water, so much of water. We use less water, and then we take bath. Again, it could be for practical reasons. You might have done some heavy service the previous day night. You may be sweating, you may be very dirty. Those are all exceptions. But in general, we have to be a little fast before Mangalarati so that we are on time. Sometimes you may wake up 3:50, 3:55. So if we just balance our time, we can be on time for Mangalarati. So we can't give reasons. Prabhuji, I was taking bath, so I'm late. These are also not valid reasons to avoid coming on time for Mangalarati. So we need to keep ourselves clean. And also, sometimes this is some mystery which I could never work out. Sometimes some devotees they wake up by 4:20 and they are in temple hall at 4:30. And they say that they took bath, they did everything. It's a really a mystery. So the thing is that we have to be. It's our responsibility to wake up on time so that we can uh, do all these basic things properly. Otherwise, over a period of time, if you're just regularly, I know one devotee in one place who used to wake up at 4:20 and come on time for Mangalarti at 4:30. But then it is horrible. Hardly he will brush, hardly he will bathe. Everything will be so fast and so quick. Sometimes very rare. Sometimes you might have been very tired. You might have been very late, and whatever reason. Very rare occasion is okay. But on a regular basis, if you do that, you will become diseased. That's not good. So we have to be very cautious about it. So one thing I just want to tell you that the general order before you take bath, this is how you do. You just pass water, and then you clear your stomach, and then we brush our teeth. That's the general order that we do, and then we scrub the tongue, and then in the Vedic culture, after that only you touch the oil. Sometimes you want to apply oil over the head. That also usually it's not done in the early morning. It's done during the noon, or that's the usual practice. So rubbing oil on the body, and then we shave our face or head, and then we cut the nails. This is the order, and then of course there is shika. If you don't regularly comb your shika, it becomes completely entangled. Then it becomes a problem. And then we wash the clothes. After washing the clothes, in between, before bathing also you may wash the clothes, but then in between, after bathing, in between also you will rinse the cloth, and then you will squeeze it, and then again you will finish the bathing. This is the order in which we do this. And why it is said this touching the oil, it's considered very contaminating. So Chanakya Pandit makes a point that it says that if one touches the oil after bathing, is considered is like a chandala. It's very contaminating. Yeah, well, maybe for sometimes for medical reasons, you may have some infection, or you may have some for some practical reason. Sometimes you may touch, but you must immediately wash your hands and legs. But generally, the oil is applied before taking bath. That we must know. So that's traditional way of using it. And one other thing, Srila Prabhupada has very practically shown us himself how to use two gamchas for taking bath, right? So sometimes during the week, those brahmacharis who are inmates here, we will show practically how do we do that, but we'll try to understand. We have two gamchas. One gamcha, we wrap it around ourselves, and another gamcha, clean gamcha, we keep it, and after taking bath, thoroughly rinsing, the gamcha with which we took bath, we take the gamcha which is dry, we wrap it around ourselves, and then the gamcha with which we took bath, we rinse it, and then we squeeze it, and we clean our body with that. We thoroughly clean our head, clean our body, and it's also an important practice. Many times we do like that, right? We just take bath, and then we walk away without cleaning the body. There is a wet body, and it's not only unhygienic, it is also over a period of time, the bones become very weak. And then we become diseased actually. So it's very hygienic to cleanse ourselves with the gamcha, rinse it properly, clean it thoroughly. Clean, and while we clean the face, we clean the neck, we clean the armpits, we clean the joint areas, we clean the legs. Everything has to be done. We should not be lazy to avoid these things. So then we keep ourselves very clean. And also another thing, everyone has this experience, right? After you take bath, you feel yourself, you feel very fresh. So that's what, when we just wake up before Mangalarati, we may feel very tired. We may sometimes think of avoiding, but then we push ourselves, and then we take a shower, and immediately we feel energetic. So in the beginning, that's what Krishna says in the Gita. In the beginning, it might appear like difficulty, it might appear like poison, but later the same thing will be like Amrita. Beginning it's a Visha, later it's Amrita, but after we practice regularly, so a devotee cannot, he will not do any activity without taking bath, right? And what we can see, the karmis and other people, they have no idea, we can't even imagine, they have the idea of bed coffee, bed tea, they don't even brush the teeth. When we travel, we can see in the train, horrible it is. They just, the fellow comes with chaya and then, samosas and so many things. Fellow just sleeps till 9 o'clock, just wakes up, and then immediately whatever is there, he just puts inside the mouth. Horrible. This is complete tamoguna. Devotees Can never even imagine. Now, after we start practicing Krishna consciousness, we can immediately see the difference. Oh, it's really dirty. Uh, if we don't see the difference, something wrong. That's another point. We should be able to see that these are all very tamasic. So that's an important thing also, because once we practice Krishna consciousness, gradually we understand about this things being in mode of goodness. Sattvic things we see, and if we don't see these things, then we are still under the influence of ignorance. So that's an important thing. And also one other thing, it may not be required. So you one time you may use the soap or any liquid soap or whatever, but you don't have to take all the time. You don't use soap is not required. That's it. So at least once in a day, if you use it, it's good. Then one other practical thing that we see in our ashram, that that nowadays we are not having that problem. Usually when we had soaps, generally it's good to use your own soap, not to use other soap. This is little common sense, but what to do we have to tell. Sometimes in the early morning it is dark, so generally we can see devotees generally keep their things in the same place. The same place the muchi bags are kept, same place the soaps are kept, but now we have the common liquid soap, so we don't have the problem. Otherwise, many times we had this problem in the early morning. Hey, my soap is missing. Someone else has taken our soap. So better use your own soap. It's good for you, good for others also. So that's one practical thing. And another thing that when devotees use oil, they want to prove that they have used the oil. What they do after that, they don't wash their hands properly, and then they come and then touch the taps. And you can see we cannot touch the tap. Now we might have come for some purpose just to wash our hands. The tap will be full of oil. So we have to be we need to be more alert to avoid such things. We need to be, see, a devotee is very alert. Even when he comes, he just comes, he uses the bathroom or the toilet. After he comes out, if he sees something is dirty, immediately he will clean the place. First of all, the person who has used it should not leave it dirty. But even if someone has left it dirty, he is not, anyway, it has got nothing to do with me. Someone has done it. He's not like that. At least if he's in some emergency, he asks others to clean it, or himself cleans the place, and then he leaves the place. So that's so we need, the point that I'm trying to say is, let's not mess up things when we just go and then use something. We should try to put things in proper place and be aware of when we are using others' property as well. So this is another thing. We may use someone else's property, but we need to be very careful. So when it comes to that, another practical thing, many times we heard from His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj recently and other times, we have this habit in our ashram to use the soap powder packets, and after we use the soap powder packets, what do? Just throw it. We don't throw it in the dustbin, or we cut the top portion of it, little bit we cut, and then that small portion we just leave it down, and the devotee who is cleaning the bathroom and the toilet, he has to come and collect it. Why he has to do that? Why we ourselves can, collect it and put it? This is being responsible. Now, being in the ashram means we are very responsible. Not that we are so irresponsible that everyone else has to come and do our work. That's not at all a quality of a brahmachari. Brahmachari means he is not dependent on others. If you remember in one of the purports in the first canto, I think this Kalo Asmin Yugejana, Manda Sumanda Matayor, Prabhupada speaks about 4 things. In one of the points is that he says that a devotee should not irresponsibility give whatever that he has to do, he should not dump it on others. So we should not be like that. So we should be responsible. So that's one point. And then also while bathing, there is an order, not that we first clean our legs. It starts from the head. You take bath with the head. And you want devotee they may use shower or something. They may use the buckets with mug. And also we need to be practical. When some devotees use bucket with mug, they make so much noise. They want to show others that yes, I am taking bath. You have to be practical. Don't make so much noise, or you open the tap with such loud noise. So we have to be conscious. The devotee is also conscious in the sense that he knows there are other devotees. Some are taking rest, some are reading. So we need to be conscious about that. And also, for specifically in our ashram, the bathroom area is very near from the ashram. So a devotee should not talk so loudly, should not have loud discussions. So you need to know that some other devotees are resting, some are reading. So we need to be careful. So we need to be conscious of it and avoid such things. So that's one thing to be followed. And Yeah, when we were speaking about using the gamchas, it's a very good practice to have. The gamcha means it's like that. It's generally it's little thin, and then what is a towel. Towel is a thick stuff. So for practical purposes, we use gamchas, and then everyone has minimum two gamchas. And generally after usage, the gamcha has to be rinsed. See the one gamcha that you with which we cleanse ourselves, you have to rinse it nicely, and then you should put it for drying. So that's all. Then only it is considered clean, not that you just throw it out like that. So that's one practice which is very much required. Otherwise, the gamcha remains impure, so that needs to be followed. And one other thing, of course, that is not very much being uh, practiced in India. But even in India, there are many places. There are bathing tubs. Some people, it's a Western culture. People in the Western countries, you can see that they have these bathing tubs, and people like to take bath in the bathing tubs, and then they don't change the water, but that's not considered clean. So in fact, the traditional bathing is they take bath in a pond or in a river, or they use the well, and with clean water they take bath. That's very important. And of course, um, these are some things that happen. Just so that we are sharing. Sometimes we see when a new bhakta, sometimes you may see somebody like that. They may be brushing the teeth, and after brushing, to wash the brush that they have used, there may be a bucket of water. They may dip it in that same bucket of water, and we have seen that. That's why we are discussing. He said, "What is this, Prabhu? You are telling all these things." But we have seen sometimes these things happening, and then we are correct because they don't know. They thought that what's that? What is there? Just clean, and then they'll take bath. But it's dirty. This much we need to know. So, we ourselves need to be aware of these things. And if you see some things like that, please help the devotee. Help the devotee and train him. Tell him that we need to avoid this. Yeah. And yes, another responsible act of devotees is that the bathrooms and toilets. Of course, the devotee is regularly cleaning it, and we also, after taking bath, you have to see that that the bathrooms and toilets are clean. That you may have used it, and you might have soiled it somewhere. So if you are aware of it, don't go walk away like that. Please clean it. We don't have to wait for someone to come and then clean it. So that's an important thing to follow. Yes, we can in while bathing we can sing Hare Krishna, and also of course when we are in the toilet, it's generally we don't talk to others. We don't speak over phone. Sometimes we see that happening. We don't speak over phone, or we don't talk to others because it's generally a contaminating place. Yeah, sometimes some devotees have difficulties. They stay for longer time because for health reasons. Yeah, they may play a tape or something like that, and then here. Otherwise, generally they don't talk. They don't have conversations in the toilet areas. So that's another practical thing to be followed. Yeah. And this is another practical thing which is completely lost in modern days. That when we pass water, when we have to not do it like a horse, stand and then do it. We have to sit and then pass water. This is another important thing. So that's the Vedic culture. So we never do that standing. And then also for practical purposes, which we need to know, that after we pass water, we should also clean the genitals with water. Generally you may have a lota, you pour water. So for practical purpose, if you don't do that, then what happens? Then that there is a uric acid which accumulates. It may be touching our copin, and then over a period of time, you get a lot of skin diseases. So it's a good practice. After you pass water, you clean the genital with just by pouring water. Yeah, for practical purpose, sometimes we may be traveling, we may be going there, and there are many places in which the urinals are designed that you have to stand and pass. It may be in an airport or in some railway station. That's a different story. But generally, when we are staying in the house or when we are in the ashram, we sit and then pass water. Practical purposes also, so that, and also, sorry to say, we have to tell all these things. There is a hole, and you please pass water in the hole. Not that you just pass everywhere. This also we have seen when somebody is very much neophyte. These things are happening. So we have to be conscious. That's all. And so this needs to be followed. And yeah, and one other thing, when we just speak about it, the right hand while bathing or for cleaning, we don't touch the lower part of the body with the left hand. Sorry, with the right hand. Right hand is not used for that. Only left hand is used for that. While taking bath, also, we will practically show you. While taking bath, when you clean the lower part of the body, you don't use the right hand for the cleaning the lower part of the body. Just use left hand for cleaning. So that's an important thing to be followed. Yeah. Specifically cleaning the private parts, we should use the left hand. And also, it's a good practice after we come out passing water or after cleaning. Please use a soap to clean your hands. In the village and other things, sometimes they used to use the earth for cleaning. So when in the ashram when we are staying, we have to practically do that. So keep ourselves clean. Yeah. And another thing in the we bathe after we pass too. That's an important thing that everybody knows about it. For those who do not know, that's an important principle. So otherwise, we are completely contaminated. We cannot go and touch anything. So we need to immediately bathe after we pass too. And also we see this. We explained you cutting nails, shaving. After doing all these things, we need to bathe. That's why all these things are done before bathing. And some practical things. So in the ashram, we may use the blade, we may use the nails after cutting. So put it in proper place. And also many times we see the blades are left with the shaving stick. It is left like that on the shelves. It's very dangerous. One thing is that somebody may put the hand without seeing it, may cut the hand, and with the sharp edge. So usually what we do, the blades are brushed on the floor so that it's not sharp anymore. So that the devotee, whomsoever is cleaning, collecting the garbage, his hands are not cut and like that. So we need to be conscious of it. So that also we need to be aware and we need to follow. Yeah. So these are some practical things which we need to be aware. And yeah. And another basic things, the shaving, we do it generally. We being the preaching, generally traditionally, the shaving is not done on Tuesdays, on Ekadashis, and on some specific the appearance days of the Lord and like that. We don't do that. The reason is that we don't spend our energy on because generally when we shave and other things, energy is lost. So we don't do on those days. So generally it is done on Purnimas or on the Pratipat. And we avoid Tuesdays. And also we can see local barbers, they don't shave on Tuesdays and like that. But this is there on one side. And being preaching movement, one main thing that we follow is that, see, there are some festival occasions are there. Sometimes we shave a day before that. We don't want to have lot of hair, and then we want to keep ourselves dirty. So we want to be clean. So cleaning means regularly keeping ourselves shaved. And we can see Srila Prabhupada was very insistent on that. So that we want to keep ourselves very clean and we keep ourselves shaved. And that's a good practice. So even if you Brahmacharya book Maharaj makes that for specifically for those who are preachers, they go out for preaching programs. They don't even have stubbles. Stubbles means that even short hair. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur himself presented very nicely in the public when we are preaching dignitaries, preaching, going out and coming for preaching programs. Keep oneself very clean and neat. So that shows being responsible. And one important thing we need to understand that hair is produced from the body's waste matter and thus resembles stool. Once dissociated from the body, it is considered as unclean and contaminating a stool. Therefore, shaving should not be done in the ashrama but in the bathroom, which is designed to be cleaned with profuse water and is anyway meant for such activities. Accumulated hair can block drains. This is another practical thing. Very much we have this experience in ashram. That we shave and then we irresponsibly what we do, we pour water and we dump it in the drain. And then we can see within half an hour our whole pipe gets blocked. So we need to be little conscious. After we shave, collect all the hair. Some little leftover residual things we may move it. That may not be a problem. But a whole bunch of hair, if you just leave it like that, everything will get blocked. And practically we see then we have to engage so many devotees to move the pipes. Literally 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours is wasted, and so much of endeavor because of carelessness of some of the devotees. So we need to be careful about it. Yeah, so we need to be conscious of that. Yeah, and so, well, just remember one more thing. So this also this some of the we have some oil bottles in the ashram, and we after shaving or something we are applying the oil, but then sometimes we might not have cleaned our hands properly. Then we come and then touch the common oil bottle, and we can see they are not aware. They just leave it like that, and some other devotee will come. They want to use that oil bottle, and you can see there is so much of hairs. They don't even want to touch it, you know. So devotees need to be conscious of it and then not to touch the bottles or anything. Wash your hands regularly, not to touch. So this is another point, that the devotee is always clean, so we don't touch the hands on the mouth. There is many of us have somehow or other we have picked up this practice to touch the lips of the mouth. This Namadwaras 9 holes. If we touch it, we have to clean ourselves. And many devotees have this practice. No, sometimes they seriously start thinking. Even the young boys we see, they put the hand inside the nose, and then they remove the dirt from the nose, and then they just look at the wall, then keep doing it for 10 minutes. So I have experience with dealing with the Gurukul boys. They have the first thing that we train the boys. Sometimes elders also do that because they are not aware of it. But these things are we don't even have to discuss. Even 10 years, 20 years back, so much from the young age, in the Vedic culture, it was all trained for practical purposes. When that cleaning in the inside the nose needs to be done while taking bath. Sometimes practical. You can put. When we have some phlegm and when we have cough and cold, often the phlegm is formed. Or also it's natural. When we inhale air, it filters. So much of dirt gets accumulated. So when we before taking bath, you can with the water just clean the nasal holes. Or sometimes you can even put little oil and then all the dirt comes out. That's the time you have to do, not some other time. Sometimes if you see some dirt for practical reason, if you do, wash your hands immediately. If you don't do that, you may touch some paraphernalia, you may touch books, everything becomes contaminated. So that's why those devotees who go and then clean DT paraphernalia, you go and then go to the cooking area, clean, you cut the vegetables, clean we have to be very careful because it becomes seva aparad. So we have to be very conscious of these things. And also, this fingernails, toenails, it has to be trimmed regularly. Not that once in 6 months. Sometimes we can see in the outside world, people are very, they want to show themselves. It's a fashion. Sometimes some people have long nails. Once I got scared. One fellow came. I thought it's a knife. No, he has such a long nail, and then he's very, he's very proud of it. In the Vedic culture, you just consider you're like an asura, So we don't do that. So we trim the nails regularly, we just train every once in 15 days or whenever we shave at the time, we regularly trim the nails. So that's very important. Because also you can see, sometimes the nails when it is trimmed regularly, you don't see anything accumulated there. Otherwise you can see different kinds of designs on top of it. Usually there are some dirt accumulated, black color, it looks immediately. We have to, specifically with children, we need to keep them, reminding them again and again. So you can see with some of the Gurukul boys, they have to be reminded again. So we can see their nails are very, before honoring, and also it's very unhygienic, you're going to take prasadam. All those dirt which is accumulated, and so much of dirt goes into it. Prasadam is it's worshipable, and along with that, when you touch this, it's very bad. So we need to keep ourselves clean, and it should be trimmed regularly as well. Yeah, and then as we say, sometimes we sit in the class, or then we put the hand in the mouth. And also another bad habit that we have seen is sometimes we touch the legs. We touch the legs, and then we what happens? And then we touch the wheat bag. Many times, sometimes some devotees are doing it consciously. It has become a habit, and the bad habit has to be broken. Then that's why when we see some devotee doing like that, we can very humbly we can tell them, or if he's very much elder to you, you tell someone else through them that can be informed, so that this seva aparadas can be avoided. So I will just relate one incident how Srila Prabhupada was so much conscious and how much he was very much aware of this cleanliness and how much he wanted top class cleanliness to be maintained in the ashram. And I'm just going to read a small anecdote from the Transcendental Diary. This incident happened in Sridham, Mayapur. Harishauri Prabhu relates this. He says, once back inside the temple compound's front gate, Prabhupada got out of the car and decided to walk down towards the Prasadam hall. At the end of the line of the boundary wall, opposite the southern gate, he stopped to inspect the circular shaped toilet block. It is meant to provide basic amenities for the families occupying the rooms on the front wall. These are the early days in Mayapur. He was repulsed by what he saw. Human feces lay strewn on the outer pathway. Poking several of the doors open with his cane, he saw that each and every toilet was completely blocked with stool and overflowing. Srila Prabhupada was shocked. He could not believe it possible that the maintenance of the block was so neglected. He demanded to know who was responsible. One devotee explained that the newer Bengali devotees are simple village people unaccustomed to using flush toilets. He said the Western devotees never used this block. Prabhupada rejected the excuse. He was disgusted. I could understand if they, the villagers, do not react to this because they are used to passing stool in the fields. But you Westerners, you are not trained in such a way. How our Western men can allow the situation without doing anything about it? So he called the managers and told them to immediately have the toilets fixed and cleansed. After entering the temple, greeting the deities and receiving Guru Puja, he gave Srimad Bhagavatam class. The verse expressed Prahlad Maharaja's feelings of humility as he described himself as born in a family infected with the hellish qualities of passion and ignorance. It was a wonder to Prahlad that Lord Nrsimha had touched him personally on his head, even though such a favor had never been extended to great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Lakshmi, the Lord's eternal consort. So Prabhupada was speaking about all these things, but then immediately from that, the toilet incident was obviously still on Prabhupada's mind. He often draws upon real life incidents and presents them in more refined philosophical way in class. But today, without any delay, he directly complained about what he had seen. He spelled out the serious implications very clearly. Prabhupada took full advantage of the description in this verse to express his disapproval of our inaction in the face of a gross display of ignorance. One of the reasons that I am relating this anecdote is because the importance we need to know about the cleanliness, and also as we become clean, we should also see that things around us, things where we stay, the temple, temple premises, whatever it is, we should see that things are kept clean. So that is very important, because every devotee, if he is very responsible, then we will see that our ashram is clean, our temple is clean, whatever belongings that is there in Krishna's premises, we will see that it is clean. We will see that being responsible, everything is in proper order. It's so important. Specifically those who are joined the ashram, who are inmates, we need to be very, very responsible. So that will keep high quality of sattva guna. So then everything is so clean and Krishna will be very pleased. Srila Prabhupada will be very pleased. So Srila Prabhupada says, this is the position. Prahlad Maharaj humbly submitting because he is Vaishnava, that what is my position? My position is that I am born of Rajas Tamoguna. This birth takes place according to the quality we acquire. Just like I was rebuking the toilet, this is so nasty, Tamoguna. And if I have no response to such Tamoguna place, that means I am also of that quality. Just like between fire and fire, there is no reaction. But fire and water, there is reaction. Similarly, Sattva Guna and Sattva Guna, there is no reaction. Tamoguna, there is no reaction. In English, it is called incompatible. When different qualities mix, acid and acid, you mix, there is no reaction. But acid and alkaline, if you mix, there will be effervescence immediately. So, if one is developing Tamoguna, then if he becomes a pig next life, there is no reaction. He will be very glad that I am pig, I am dog. There is no reaction. But if one is sattva guna, then he cannot tolerate. Immediately obnoxious. Oh, such a nasty condition. Sometimes we see some devotees, those who are serious practitioners of Krishna consciousness, very advanced. Sometimes they may shout, "Oh, this is very dirty, this is not clean," because they are very much caring for Srila Prabhupada's property, Krishna's temple, Krishna's property. And it is required because we are in the lower modes. Sometimes some things are, when it's said very in a soft way, polite way, nothing gets into our head. So it has to be, one has to shout, one has to make someone understand. Even then, sometimes we are not able to understand some things. So that's why when advanced devotees, they can't tolerate this dirty things, and immediately they shout. They want to see that it is being fixed. And Srila Prabhupada, many times he was very furious. He cannot tolerate this kind of dirty things around. So that's what is happening here. So Srila Prabhupada is raising it in the class. So again, Prabhupada is mentioning that. So if one is developing tamoguna, then if he becomes a pig next life, there is no reaction. He will be very glad that I am pig and I am dog. So I am very sorry there was no reaction in such a nasty toilet room. And you are getting sacred thread, the quality of Brahmana, Sattva Guna. It is very regrettable. Nobody reacted. This is the position, that unless we curb down this Rajoguna, Tamoguna, there is no improvement. If a person in Krishna consciousness is found to have no reaction in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, then he is dull stone. It is not improving. It is simply show bottle. So show bottle will not help. And we can see, when we are very tired, we are very busy, we can see our room is very dirty. We don't clean our shelves. We don't remove the cobwebs in the room. We keep our clothes dirty. We may go for a preaching program. We have dirty cloth. There are, stains in the cloth. Our bag is not clean. So we will discuss about, we also our bead bag. So many things, that we need to keep ourselves very clean. This is very important. Yeah, so regularly cleaning our rooms, regularly keeping our shelves and all those things are so important. So if there is tamoguna, what happens? Our consciousness comes very low. Then all kinds of, already even while keeping clean, effect of Kali Yuga, our mind is disturbed. So many bad desires rise in our heart. But when we leave these things like this, we are more and more we get into lower gunas. And then, we don't become enthusiastic to engage in Krishna's service. So we need to be conscious of this. So Srila Prabhupada says, it is not improving, it is simply show bottle. So show bottle will not help. This prescription is there. If one develops Krishna consciousness, then it is to be understood that he has surpassed Sattva Guna, the Brahminical qualification. Why we offer sacred thread to a person who is coming from very, very low family? Because it is to be understood by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by following the regulatory principle, he has already come to the platform of Sattva Guna. But if it is a false thing, there is no need of second initiation. Our process is, don't do this, chant Hare Krishna mantra, 16 rounds, and don't do this, no illicit sex, no meat eating. That means he is becoming purified, that the rotten condition of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. But if he does not, then there should be no second initiation. This should be the rule. So after Srila Prabhupada spoke, so I will Harishavri Prabhu, he says, Prabhupada's criticism had its effect. By mid-morning, the whole block was thoroughly cleansed and disinfected. The managers vowed to keep it that way. So that's the whole point. So yeah, if something is, so that's why we see, also the effect of whenever advanced devotee comes, we see there is a maha cleaning happens. Everything becomes completely cleansed, and it's not only, and also we see in the temple, where the leader is very responsible and the devotees are very responsible. They regularly clean the altar area, they regularly clean the kitchen, they regularly clean the ashram. Everything is regular, on a regular basis it's being cleansed. So because regulation is so important, to create something is very, also it requires a lot of effort, but that can be accomplished. But then maintenance, that's the difficult part of it, that requires Sattva Guna. So that is very much required. So that regulation and cleansing, it's very important. So I will take little extra time just to cover some more things. So as we said, there is a need to take care of. So we discussed about personal cleanliness, many things. Also other cleanliness, external cleanliness. Just we discussed about the temple cleanliness. Also, as a practicing devotees, we need to be careful to take care of Krishna's paraphernalia. We should not neglect it. So we need to keep it clean. For example, it could be books, it could be other paraphernalia, it could be japamalas, weed bags. That has to be kept very clean. So books should be kept properly. It should not be kept upside down. Many times we see His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. Sometimes he corrects. Devotee carries the book up. Krishna is upside down. Immediately he puts it back. Gita should not be upside down. Everything should be in kept properly. It should not be kept in the floor. Book should not be kept in the floor. It should be kept raised. And then we do not give books with the left hand and collect books with the left hand. Not only that, any sacred items, anything, we don't do it with left hand. That's not the Vedic culture. That's why we have to do it with the right hand. We give it with the right hand and collect it with the right hand. So we should try to keep things away from children, because children, anything they see, they put it in their mouth. Or children, they put the hand in the mouth and then they come and touch everything. That's why we see those who are making garlands, those who are in the kitchen area cutting vegetables. We generally advise the Matajis not to take children with them, or even if they have responsibility to take care of the children who are still not matured enough not to be contaminated. So by putting the hands in the mouth, and yes, we generally request them to please take care of your children. Better don't come and then, you may be eager to do that service, but then enthusiasm without proper intelligence creates disturbance. So then what happens? Everything becomes contaminated. So one has to be a little matured enough to understand. Sometimes devotees are not matured enough, and sometimes they are in illusion. They think that 33-year-old, 4-year-old child is, my child never puts hand in the mouth, put hands in the ears. Some time back, recently I was dealing with one situation where I myself was dealing with that particular boy who always puts a hand in the mouth and in the ears. And then when I was trying to express very humbly to the mother, she couldn't understand. She said, "Oh, it can never happen like this." But we have to be realistic. Then everything gets contaminated. So that's a practical thing. So japa beads and bead bag. We can clean our beads also. Sometimes we can see sometimes that also becomes dirty. We can have some clean container with fresh water. We can dip the bead. There may be dust accumulated, and then clean it with some fresh cloth. Or with sometimes devotees, when they go to some holy dham, some holy waters, not that the beads becomes contaminated, but because of dust we can clean it. That's one thing. And also the bead bags needs to be washed thoroughly. Now we can keep 2 or 3 bead bags, and then you can clean it on a regular basis. Now sometimes the devotees bead bag, you can see it may be white color, it may be yellow color, but the color will be completely changed. Specifically those areas that the place where the finger comes out, you can see immediately it becomes dirty, and then we can see we keep the bead bag in so many different places, it becomes dirty. So immediately, once in 2 days, you don't have to wait for once in 2 days or 3 days. As soon as the bead bag become dirty, wash it. Prabhupada said that by looking at the bead bag, he said to one devotee, he said, okay, dirty bead bag shows the dirty consciousness. The consciousness is dirty, Prabhupada said. So we need to be always with clean bead bag, and the bead should be kept. And also we cannot just keep the bead bag anywhere and everywhere. Just put it on the floor, or just keep it in some contaminated place, or take the bead bag inside the bathroom or the toilet. So these things should be avoided. So maybe while you are traveling, maybe when you are in the in the railway or in the airport, maybe you may not have anyone along with you. So at that time, it's better to take it inside rather than losing the beads. Sometimes devotees are initiated; they have initiated beads. Even otherwise, also at that time, it is okay. Then immediately after that, we have to, whenever there is an opportunity to wash the bead bags, we have to wash the bead bags and use fresh bead bags. So that's very important. And then also we pictures of the the pictures of their deities, or any pictures, any shlokas and other things. We can't just paste it anywhere and then scribble on that and like that. So better don't just paste it anywhere and everywhere. These pictures, these are all sacred items. We need to be careful about it. Also those devotees who are handling mridangas and kartals, they need to be careful. They cannot just keep it down, or throw the kartals wherever it is. So we regularly change the cover of the mridanga, we wash it. So all things, these are all DD paraphernalia. So mridanga and kartals are expansions of Balaram. So that's why, we while sitting on the vyasas, and also sometimes devotees put the kartals on the vyasas, and where the leg is kept, we don't do that. So we should keep it on a place where it is not being touched by the legs. Yes, in the practical session, we will show specifically those devout brahmacharis who are using the copins. So it has to be regularly washed. The clothes also needs to be regularly washed, which I mentioned before. And also there are measurements. What are the measurements of the copins? So specifically new Bhakta sometimes doesn't know all these things. Sometimes it is like a monkey tail. So yeah, we need to be trained how to use it properly. And in the practical session, we'll have a session on practically to show about the bathing. At the time, we will show what should be the size of the copin and like that. And also, this is it's some kind of a common practice among devotees in some places. So what they do is they start to take notes on the Gita or Bhagavatam or whatever Prabhupada books. We need to know these books are non-different from Krishna. That's why we don't put it on the floor. There was one incident I just remember. His Holiness Bhaktivikas Swami Maharaj. He went for a public program. I think in Punjab or somewhere. So he went for the program, and then he saw that he came and sat for the program. The book, the table that was very low, the asan was above the book. So immediately before even starting the program, he requested the organizer, can you keep the Bhagavad Gita raised? And with the raised table. So then the program happened, the program was over, and after the program was over, there was one person in the public, he came to Maharaj and then he said, thank you very much, Swamiji. I would have left the program if you would have given a class, the book kept on a lower dais. Because this Bhagavad Gita and Krishna, and the Bhagavatam, these are non-different from Krishna. So that in the Vedic culture, so much people were following all these things. Now we do not know, we should not put it on our lap, we should not keep it down. So like that, Srila Prabhupada was very attentive to these things. And also that's why we see the Bhagavatam book, sometimes we have beautiful covers. Yes, devotees make some nice silk cloth cover, and it is nicely maintained. Also we see when the books are covered nicely, or you wrap it up with some cover, so that we know that these are non-different from Krishna. And another important thing, as I was mentioning, it's not good to scribble on these books. You know the famous incident of this Arjuna Acharya, like Prabhupada speaks about that story, because writing on that, it's your marking over Krishna. So sometimes some devotees give this explanation. It's like doing decoration on Krishna. So you may give so many explanations. Better not to do that. It's better. Don't write anything. You want to take notes? You please take notes in a separate notebook that you keep for making notes. Otherwise, on the book, don't mark, don't underline, don't do any of these things. So that's we need to be conscious about that. Yeah, there is one quote. I just want to see that. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness means a clean bead bag. Very interesting. So you need to be careful about that. Okay, just with one anecdote, we will just stop and then we will continue the evening session. So this is just to know how serious it is to keep oneself clean. So this is an incident. There's one Mataji by name Kriya Shakti, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. She is narrating one incident. Told us how after the yajna, several devotees were waiting outside of Srila Prabhupada's room to get their Brahmana threads and Gayatri mantras. A devotee came out of Srila Prabhupada's room crying. When all the devotees asked him what happened, he said that Srila Prabhupada wouldn't give him Gayatri mantra because he had a dirty bead bag. If you are dirty, you can't be a Brahmana, Srila Prabhupada had said. All of the devotees waiting looked down at their bead bags considering the situation. They were all scared. Each and everyone was looking at their bead bag. So one of the devotees, not taking any chances, took his beads out of his bag and put them around his neck, and someone else ran home to get a clean bead bag. Srila Prabhupada did say that the devotee whom he sent out could come back the next day with a clean bead bag, and he would give him second initiation. So Srila Prabhupada, he trained, so conscious he was in many things. At the beginning, Srila Prabhupada was very lenient, but as time progressed, he was training his disciples, and everything should be spotless for Krishna. So that's the mood. So of course, in the evening there's another nice quote I will share. We'll discuss about that. We are not what to say cleanliness maniac. We want to be clean, of course, and our primary idea by keeping everything very clean and everything is very much aids in developing pure love for Krishna. So that's the whole idea. We will discuss some other practical things in the evening. In the evening session, we will discuss some more thing, about properly how to put proper tilak and other practical aspects of Krishna consciousness, and then we will see how it goes. Okay, just one other small thing I'll just touch, just to not to miss. Also, the bead bags, when we use the bead bags, it's generally used for keeping what? Japamala, not other things. Sometimes we see vadas, samosas. I just saw one boy. I was thinking the bead bag was a little heavy. And so, what is there inside that? There was some vadas and there was some festival, so he didn't know what to do. So he put the vadas and the samosas inside the bead bag. So better not. This is not the thing. So keep only don't put so much money and other things. It should not become a habit of doing this. Just keep the beads. That's good. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.